What's up, my comic community? My name's Cullen, and I collect comics, and today is Sunday, August 20th, and I should have had my local comic shop pickups on here by now, but truthfully, he didn't get the Marvel until Friday, so I went and picked it up on Friday. Yesterday I tried to make a video, and it was just not turning out, so we're going to try again today, and yeah. So we've got my local pickups from the Comix Strip. The Comix Strip is a comic shop on Broadway in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. And yeah, first we're starting out with DC, and then we'll move on to Marvel. We got Batman Superman World's Finest, issue number 18. And Dan Mora did the cover for this. Travis Moore did the interior arts, and Mark Wade's writing this. And yeah, the solicitation goes like this. Untold tale of how the Dark Knight and the Man of Steel first met. You think you know how Superman and Batman met and became friends? Think again. Read the untold tale of how their worlds first collided, and the stunning secret loss that nearly destroyed their partnership before it even began. All right. Like I said, that's issue number 18. Next, after that, we are moving on to Batman White Knight presents Generation Joker. It's issue number 4. And, yeah, it's a pretty cool looking cover. I like how Freeze looks in this. It's got a Sean Murphy cover, of course. The writers for this are both Clayton McCormick and Sean Murphy, and the interior art was done by Marika Andinolfo, who I love her stuff. She's great. You should definitely check out some of her stuff if you haven't. And yeah, like I said, this issue number 4, and let's see, the latest chapter in the White Knight saga. The revenge is a dish best served cold. With the FBI hot on their tail and nowhere to go, Bryce and Jackie return where it all began, Arkham Asylum. There, with help from a reformed Victor Freeze, they hope to save their fading father. Will science prevail, or will Mr. Freeze take the opportunity to end the Joker's reign in Gotham for good? Alright. Next we got, starting on our Night Terrors, and of course, this is Night Terrors Catwoman, issue number 2. And this has a Leila Liaz cover. And she's also doing the interior art, and Teenie Howard's writing this. Trapped in a twisted Gotham, Catwoman is stuck in a nightmare in which her sister Maggie parades around Gotham as its savior, Sister Zero. After rescuing Bruce from the Joker, Catwoman calls him Batman, to which he asks how she knew that name, since he had only called himself that in his head. What year is it in this Gotham, and why does the Joker have snakes for limbs? Can Sister Zero and the Catwoman pray themselves out of this nightmare? Alright. Next on the Night Terrors agenda, we have Nightwing issue number 2. All these Nightmare Terrors are going to be issues number 2 from now on, unless it's the actual Night Terrors, because there's only 2 issues in each one of these. So this is your second one. I love this cover, by the way. It's done by Danielle De Niculio, and Danielle De Niculio is the artist for this, and Michael Conrad and Betty Cloonan are writing. Nightwing's nightmare continues. Nightwing's worst nightmare is to wake up one day realizing he murdered someone he loves and doesn't even remember how or why he did it. And that's exactly the nightmare verse in which Insomnia has placed him, while the memories of who Nightwing killed and how he did it start flashing back vividly in his head. To make matters worse, he'll have to work with his cellmates Two-Face and Scarecrow to get out of this one alive. And besides this awesome Danielle De Niculio cover, we have this Francisco Matea cover that is also super cool. I wish I had all the Matea covers from this run, because from these Night Terrors, because they are all great. I love Matea's stuff. Next, we have also another awesome cover by Jason Sean Alexander. And there's that one. All right. Next, we're moving on to Night Terrors number 2 of Punchline. So, Night Terrors Punchline number 2. And this has a Glib Minecraft cover. And the interior art's done by Lucas Mayer. And Danny Lohr is the writer. Punchline versus Nightmare Batgirl. It's Punchline versus a Nightmare Batgirl for the control of the hearts and minds of Gotham. Can Punchline overcome her deepest fears and anxieties to defeat this bat-cowled beast? Alright. Next, we're moving on to Night Terrors Superman number 2. And this one has a Gleb Minecraft cover also. And the writer for this is Joshua Williams, and Tom Riley's doing the interior. So Joshua Williams and Joshua Williams' son, who's pretty much the creative mastermind, I feel like, behind this Night Terror stuff. Superman and Batgirl team up in a nightmare realm, or in the nightmare realm. In the terrifying nightmare realm, Superman and Supergirl search for the answers and the rest of their family, but Superman is pulled into the haunted part of Metropolis Past, where he learns more about Marilyn Moon Knight in the waking world. An unlikely DC superhero family works to save the world from the sleepless nights. Alright. Next, we're moving on to this awesome Jay Lee cover of Night Terrors Wonder Woman. And, Juan Ferreira is the artist for this, and Josie Campbell's the writer. And like I said, this Wonder Woman 2 of Night Terrors. No way out of the Nightmare Realm. No way out. The Justice League Dark find themselves trapped in a labyrinth of horror as Wonder Woman grapples with her deepest fears and insecurities. Will the Warrior of Truth fall to the lies of the Nightmare Realm? Plus, Nubia takes on the lost souls of Tartarus to prove her worthiness as Queen of the Amazons. Alright, we're not quite done with DC yet. We've got Tales of the Titans number 2, and this is the Raven issue, which looks awesome with this Nicola Scott cover. Teenie Howard's writing this. I love Teenie Howard's stuff, if I didn't mention that already earlier. Eleonora Carini is doing the interior art for this too. All new Raven solo story from Harley Quinn and Catwoman writer Teenie Howard. She's been called the daughter of Trigon, the herald of apocalypse, but Raven has never let these things define who she is. Ready to step up into this new era of Titans, she plans to leave her past behind, but history has a habit of repeating itself, and when Raven comes to the aid of a woman in over her head with the Church of Blood, she will have to face a terrible reminder of her mother's tragic past, an evil closer to her than you may think. Alright, my final DC book of the week is Vigil number 4, and this has a Sumit Kumar cover, and Ram V's writing this, and Laliat Kumar Shamara is the artist for this. Uncover DC's greatest conspiracy. Who are the Vigil? Dodge file loading. Dodge is a speedster metahuman in the secret organization called the Vigil. Her alias is likely to be a woman who goes by the name of Dinah Korn. All files connected to this name have been erased. The only information that is left pieced together by Checkmate is that Dodge has a condition that places an extraordinary amount of fast twitch muscle fiber in her body. Her suit allows her to control her fibers and move at the speed of thought. The multiversal and space-time repercussions of this are to be discussed in the next transmission. Stay tuned for more. You are being watched. Alright, more of that cool Vigil stuff. Now we're going to move on to Marvel. And I got a couple books here. We're starting out with Daredevil number 14, which is Chip Zdarsky and Mark Cicciotto, which Mark Cicciotto did this cover and does the interiors. Chip Zdarsky, of course, is doing the writing. What can I say? I think this says that it's all that it needs to say right here in the solicitations, but it kind of saddens me. The end. But of what? A life, a love, a marriage, Matt Murdock's time as Daredevil, or the latest and greatest run of one of Marvel's most celebrated sagas, or all of the above. All right, so that sounds like that might be the last issue of this run of Daredevil. Next, we're moving on to issue 2 of Death of the Venomverse, which is the first appearance of Kentaro. And also, Kentaro becomes Kid Venom in this. And, Bjorn Berendez did the cover art for this, like the first one, which looks just awesome. The interior arts are done by Justin Mason and Gerardo Sandoval. It also has, I believe Justin Mason and Taigami. And I think it also says Cullen Bunn and also Gerardo Sandoval and David Michelin. So yeah, whole bunch of people on this thing. Enter the Symbiote 6 plus David Michelinie's brings you a classic tale in the vein of Venom Lethal Protector. Or is there much more than meets the eye? That's not all. Prepare yourself for Taigami's introduces the new world, or the world, to Venom Boy. So not only do we have a Spider Boy, we got a Venom Boy this month. Or not this month, but we have a Venom Boy now. Next, we've got Marvel Voices X-Men number 1, and this has a ton of artists on it that it's going to take me a second, because it actually doesn't tell you in the solicitation, and I have to read it. Al Ewing, Carolina Munoz, Greg Pak, Jay Eden, Jay Jordan, Rafael Dracone, Sarah Kuhn, Daniel Bayliss, Gustavo Vargas, Jan Basaluda, Jethro Morales, Jorge Corona, I love Jorge Corona, Nina Vacuva, Marcelo Costa, Wilton Santos, Oren Jr., Andrew Dahlhaus, Jim Campbell, KJ Diaz, Manuel Pupo, Michael Wiggum, and Nerj Menon. So, yeah. A lot of people working on this. Bernard Chang did the cover art for it. And, this is Marvel Voices X-Men number 1. Marvel Voices continues with this stunning anthology of all-new stories celebrating Marvel's mightiest mutants. From the exhilarating days of Xavier's School for the Gifted Youngsters to the current Halcyon days of Krakoa, these stories pan a gamut of X-Men's history, delving into the past of some of your favorite X-Men, as well as looking toward their future with an exciting lineup of fan-favorite creators and fresh new talent you won't want to miss out on this issue. Alright, we're finally finishing out. We already brought you Venom Boy this week, so we've got more of Spider-Boy. And this is issue number 11 of Spider-Man, is the another origin of Spider-Boy, more detailed apparently, of Bailey Briggs. It's also the debut of the Big Will 2.0. And Mark Bagley did this cover. Luciano Vesicchio did the interior art for this. And Dan Slott's writing this. Reintroducing Spider-Boy. The battle to save the Spider-Verse may be over, but spinning out of the restored web of life and destiny returns the spectacular Spider-Boy. Peter Parker's suspended sidekick. Wait, that can't be right. Who is this Spider-Boy, and what is his connection to the Amazing Spider-Man? Alright, so that's all my books this week from the Comix Strip from on Broadway in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. You should definitely check it out if you're in the area. Support your own local comic shop, most definitely, if you've got one near you. And thanks a lot for watching. Hit like and subscribe. I'm going to get out of here, and I will see y'all later. Peace.